oj, oj. Herregud. Oj. It is minus 20 degrees outside. But it doesn't feel like it at all. Well, maybe in the throat because it's just crisp. Oh my gosh, the whole fjord has frozen. Christoffer, ser du att det är till hela till andra sidan? Oj, oj. It is so beautiful outside. Definitely cold, but you can't really feel it that much when it is not windy, you know what I mean? Then it's just very dry cold and you can be out in your pajamas like I am. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna go down and drink some coffee. We're getting this sorted. What do I mean? We're making a fire. And then what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down there. I wanna go down to the ice. So first I have to change. I think maybe this isn't the best clothing for this adventure. What a day. What a March. Gorgeous day. Come. Oh, kom lite närmare. A little bit closer. Oh, hello. I feel like this winter that it's very evident that Grim is getting older. Kom här. Framsidan. You know, nej. Oh yeah, gosh, that was difficult. He has always been a very active winter boy where he has loved to, go on really long hikes and snowmobile trips. Well, no, he hasn't loved the snowmobile trips, but he's always loved to be outside. And now this year you can notice that there's a certain calm on Grim. Even though he loves to do everything that I do now, it's at a little bit of a slower pace. And I think it's because you're turning 9. Can you believe he's turning 9? He still acts like a puppy though. But he's just, I think he's enjoying life at a little bit of a slower pace this year. Would you like to see my new cup? Oh my gosh, this is a Swedish designer, Gustav. Oh, I can't remember something. And these went viral on the interweb a few years ago. And they sold out immediately. And then I remembered them now, 2 or 3 years later. So I bought 2 pairs, one in red and one in blue. And I just love it. Just look at it. I don't know what it is about it. It just makes me happy. In this video today, you've seen the title. And we're going to talk a little bit about the future. And this year is one of those years where we really are reevaluating everything and what we want to do. And I think everybody does that once in a while. I've never had a 5-year plan or any sort of yearly plan. I think I plan a few months ahead. And for some reason that has always worked for me. It's a privilege to be able to think like that. So I do know that. But this year, after living here for 8 years, we have been starting to think about, okay, but what do we want our lives to look like? We live so far away from our friends and our family. What do we want to do? I've seen a lot of comments, you see. That is why I've decided to address this topic. That are when you're moving, this is going to be so good. Or when is it that you are moving? I think they might have come from the Sweden video where we visited our friends. And I think maybe that might have given people the idea that we're moving from Svalbard. But we're not. This is gonna be our base and our home for, many more years. I don't have a desire to leave at all. We have definitely decided that we are staying here. But I think the one thing we're thinking about this year or, the coming years is we want to spend a bit more time with our families and our friends that don't live here. So that probably means, going to the mainland, not necessarily more often, but for a bit more quality time. We've always, though, said that our dream has been kind of to share Svalbard with another location. So I would have, I think my future goal, if I would have one, would be to be like in Svalbard for 6 months and then in Portugal for 6 months. That's kind of where my brain has always been at. So, but that's not for now, you know, we're still young. We still got work to do. I think that's a future goal that we both would probably enjoy, but you never know, goals can change. So at the moment, we are definitely more just thinking about, you know, being here, enjoying Svalbard so much and working and doing all of the fun stuff and the videos and everything, but then also taking the time to maybe, you know, see friends and family. We want to go and see Olivia and Einar and my parents in Portugal. You know, I need to kind of prioritize that because we don't have all the time in the world, if that makes sense. So we're talking about the future because we went to Sweden to see Olivia and Einar. And also maybe we've been kind of hinting at wanting to travel a little bit and doing some different things. I think that's also it.
Yeah, but it's not moving. It's just doing some more fun things.
I've been here for 8 years. All of those have been really, really, really focused on making Svalbard my main place. You know, we've been always working towards bettering our Svalbard life.
Yeah.
And I think now we're at a point where we really have peaked. We have everything we worked for. We have our cabin. You know, it's the perfect home for us. Like we have the jobs we're doing, which is also very much more certain at the moment. Yeah, so are we moving?
No, we're not moving.
No.
We will maybe buy a cabin close to Einar and Olivia. When we were in Sweden, I miss to hang out with Einar, and it would be really nice to have a place there, like a cabin or something, to just go a couple of times a year and hang out and do some fun things. And that's just another path of life.
100%.
That we want to go.
A big thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. Grim is settling into his new role as Head Internet Security Officer of Vestpinten very well. Together with NordVPN, he's staying on top of our internet security at all times. He's doing so well that he's actually been given another hat to wear, Head Travel Assistant of the household. You see, a little bird once told him that not only does NordVPN keep you secure online, but connecting to a server in a different country can also help you find cheaper flight tickets. A VPN will also hide the data that airlines use to customize prices, as well as encrypt your traffic so you can avoid customer profiling based on your actions and data. And ever since Grim found this out, he has been planning his escape to Finland. Because, you know, he's a Finnish Lapphund. So now we are putting that determination to good use, and he's helping us plan our next adventures. It does seem, though, that we have some work to do regarding the destinations. Head to nordvpn.com/Cecilia or use the code Cecilia to get 4 months for free on a 2-year plan. It is all risk-free with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee.
When we were in Sweden, we both felt like, oh my gosh, we miss, you know, our friends in a way. We don't have that many friends up here because people come and go so much. We've been saying that we want a cabin on the mainland for quite a while, like in Norway, or Norway was the main goal. And then we went to Sweden and we realized, oh, I don't think we want a cabin in the middle of nowhere. Because, you know, that's already what we have up here. I think we both felt like if we get a cabin, maybe we should get one close to Einar and Olivia, because that is basically what we miss.
Oh, and north of Sweden is nice. This is home, but we need to have a cabin there and to go visit them, and I think that would be a good way to start the second half of the game.
So that is probably something that could happen in the future. But again, no stress.
Nah, take the time. I think to find the location where they live is more important to have it fast.
Yeah. I also said before that I think the ultimate dream for me still is like 6 months here, 6 months Portugal. Or something like that.
Oh, that's in the future, I think.
That's what I said as well, like pensionär. We're talking like retirement, because you can't do that before.
Now we can just travel around and have some fun instead.
Yeah. Question. What would be your ideal year here? Like, what do you want to do? People always, like, I always voice my wants and everything very loudly. What do you want? Like, out of this year?
I think it's the same always in a way. Like the boat season, you know, I like to hang out in the boat in the summertime. And but the only difference is we probably should go see more of the world. I miss traveling, so that's Svalbard is the same, but
Yeah.
a bit more traveling around different places. That would probably be what I want to do.
So we have a lot of fun plans, but this video I think was just mainly to give you an update, as I saw so many comments, and I think it's nice to just kind of like say where we're at. Today though, we shall go outside and enjoy the ice fjord that is frozen for the first time in 20 years.
Yeah, 2004 it was frozen and they drove over the East Jordan. And 2008 it was kind of icy, they said, but not like this. But you can't drive over now, so it's... And I see the ice floating today.
Thank you very much for... Thank you for this update. Let's go outside! Let's go!
Hej pojkisen! Adjå! Oj, vad det finns lite liv i dig ja! God morgon!
Grym! Oh my gosh, what a day! It is so cold, but so beautiful. As you can see, we have a husky here as well. We are watching our friend's dog Polka. She's 14 years old. She is ancient. She's like 200 human years or something. But okay, now we shall try, Christoffer, to get down on the ice. That's what I want to do today. The fjord right outside our cabin rarely freezes. It needs to be, you know, this cold and very little wind for quite a long time for it to start to become like this. But this only took, I realized, like 3 days, Christoffer. 3 days it took for just this. So when it is ideal conditions like right now, it freezes fast. So that's exciting. Last time it froze like this, a polar bear came walking from the other side. So we're gonna keep our eyes peeled on the ice. Okay. Game plan. Du ser där.
We're going down to the shore. So I'm gonna strap this. Put it to the stege, the ladder.
The stege, yes.
And then just send it down, and then we can just go down.
Down isn't the problem. Up is the problem. So.
That's why we need to have a ladder.
Kom till mig, så går vi ner tillsammans. Kom. Här. Ja, och så går du ner. Med mig. Kolla! Ser du hur bra det går? Du kommer kunna gå upp sen. I'm going. See ya!
Ja.
People always ask if I can swim in the sea or the fjord outside our cabin. And I mean, of course you can, but maybe not on days like these, you know? This would be too hard. I love when you get a frozen beard. My beard never freezes. Out of like cold days, I wouldn't even consider this a cold day. It's because the sun is out, no wind. You know, minus 20 really doesn't feel like minus 20 in the ideal conditions. Minus 5 can feel way worse if it's windy. So it really is Really depends. Oh my gosh. This is quite the view.
Gorgeous, gorgeous March. That is all I can say. With more than a week of cold temperatures, many days with -20 or colder, Svalbard turns completely frozen, just like it should be this time of year. While the rest of Scandinavia starts looking forward to spring and warmer days, Svalbard enjoys the arrival of the sunny winter season, bringing some of the coldest days we see all year. Even though this cold weather is common, it is not as common for the fjord to freeze over. This March, the fjord outside of Longyearbyen has frozen completely for the first time in 20 years. From our cabin, we have been watching the ice grow thicker and thicker, bringing along its inhabitants. We've had the pleasure of watching a huge walrus spend an entire day sleeping on an ice floe, as well as curious seals pop up out of the sea ice.
Another common question we get is that when the weather is bad, doesn't the water actually, can it reach our cabin? Because it looks to be so close when you're in the cabin, but it is actually 5 meters up to our cabin. So, I don't know how high the tide is, but it's definitely not 5 meters here.
No, 2.
Maybe 2 our tide is. So you can see it so clearly, like over there, just how high up we are. And our neighbor, she is a geologist. She studies the ground and the glaciers and stuff. She's cool. So when she bought her cabin, she did a whole evaluation on what the ground actually is. Because, if it's like sand, it can actually erode by the water. This is rock. And that's very good. So she said the cabin will stand way longer than our lifetime. Wow, what an absolutely beautiful day. I love to spend time like these days outside because these truly are the best of winter here. It's not that common for the days to be this still and this, just serene. It's usually a little bit more windy and a bit more rugged. So when these days come by, you gotta soak them up. And that the sun is coming back is also, it's just beautiful. Beautiful. We really only have a few weeks left of this winter because it goes so quickly. Spring usually comes around in like early May or mid-May. It depends a little bit on, what Svalbard feels like. Sometimes it's full winter in the beginning of May and sometimes it's just, full summer almost. So we have now half of March left and then April, which is usually super beautiful. And then that was the winter. I'm waiting for Christoffer to come out with some coffee. That's gonna be nice. Yum yum.
Here she comes, the old lady. Oh, look at that.
So this right here and right here is Polka. Yes, Grim. She's staying with us for a few days because her mommy, Julie, is on a cabin trip. Still, can you imagine? She's 14 years old. She lived in a hundgård, dog yard. Hur gammal var hon kanske? 9, 10. She lived in a dog yard and worked there until she was maybe, I'm gonna guess 10. And since she retired, she's lived with Julie. And it's actually very common for the old sled dogs to get a home in the village. They kind of announce it and say, these are the dogs that we have that aren't going to be running anymore. And then people can come and adopt them, and then they get to live inside, hopefully, for the rest of their years. And she's 14. She's in such good condition. Yeah, you're an inspiration. You're an inspiration. Definitely a little bit old and scrawny, but they are. She's so happy, and she just wants to lay inside and chill, as she should. Today, she's been on a walk, but you know, they just kind of want to be inside when it's this cold out. Oh, we need to put another log on the fire. You're gonna be okay here, little girl. Put your pillow right here. Herregud. Oj, oj, oj. This is unreal. The views. It's so cold. The ice is starting to move a little bit with the increased wind. It's just a little bit more wind, and you can hear it creaking. And oh, that is so cool. Okay, first, we take these inside. They are well, vad heter det, Grim? Väl vädrade. Du är så söt. Du är så söt som man dör. Vi kan kolla borta.